Welcome back to the Cow's channel, and today we have yet another Cow's Opinion. What is a Cow's Opinion? A Cow's Opinion is where I, the Cow, go over the best, greatest, and sometimes terrible news happening in the world of video games that we all love, where I give you my thoughts, feelings, and just random opinions, but it's okay, because remember, it is a Cow's Opinion, and it is a moo point. It doesn't matter. I am the Cow, and you are here on this channel because today we have a couple of quick little ones that I thought I'll just go ahead and put it out now, because then we won't have to worry about it. And one of the biggest games of this holiday season is going to be Call of Duty. But we're not talking about Microsoft and Sony arguing over whether it should be sold or not. Today, we are talking about how some Call of Duty fans are not happy that they have to play in competitive matching. So, if you know, then you know what Call of Duty is. But if you don't, it's a first-person shooter, and it has both the story campaign, which is decent to really good, depending on the year, and it also has the biggest selling point of Call of Duty is the massive multiplayer that happens. Now, the game drops tomorrow, but if you pre-ordered, you've probably already gotten to play a little bit. Tomorrow, though, is when the game comes out, and that is when, officially, the game's skill-based matchmaker, or SBMM, comes out. Now, a little backstory, it is a direct sequel of the 2019 rebooted Modern Warfare, and you hunt down various high-profile military ops. That makes no sense. Hunting down various high-profile military ops. That makes no sense. But you're trying to prevent global catastrophe by shooting them in the face. Look, it's a military game about special forces soldiers. If you could talk your problems out, it'd be a very different game. And the Kotaku staff writers have gone on to say that they have some pretty good opinions of the game. But and even though there are some problematic elements in the campaign, that's not what has the community riled up. Somebody always finds something about. Someone always complains. I remember there was a one of the more recent games you were having to raid a terrorist hideout, and somebody complained, why can't I just talk to them? It's like, because they're terrorists and they have guns and they want to shoot you in the face. I understand it's a video game, guys. Come on. So popular streamer Tim the Tapman Batal, I hope I've got that right, is at the center of it because he made a video just a few days ago where he said that while he's going to be streaming it, he's only going to do it for one day. And then he'll grind off stream. And his biggest complaint is that he doesn't like playing online. He says the meta's not good. He doesn't like the guns that are necessary. And his problem is that he plays a lot of Call of Duty. So he is going to get really good at Call of Duty. With an SBMM matchmaking system, it's going to continuously put him against other highly ranked players. Now, that means that he's going to have to play against people at or slightly above or slightly below his skill level. And he says that's not great. So what you need is a quick play playlist not based around the SBMM, and then a ranked one that is. If SBMM wasn't a thing, I would stream multiplayer. SBMM, I've said this before and I'll say it again, man, I dare say, killing video games. Now, again, the feature just makes sure that you play against people that are of your skill level. So, what is going on? Because a cursory glance at Twitter pulls up multiple people decrying skill-based matchmaking and brought up how competitive shooters previously, such as Halo 2, didn't have it and were still great fun, even though a former Halo designer has been countering that point. And some people are saying it doesn't belong here. Some people are saying it's not necessary. Some people have just said that it's been hated. But skill-based matchmaking has been in video games for a while. Like League of Legends and Overwatch and pretty much any game with a competitive aspect wants to make sure that you're always playing against people at or near your skill set. Now, some of them do have quick matches where you can just have a little fun, but most people don't play quick matches without a group of friends where you're just arranging the game. Most people will always get into the rank system, even if you don't really play a lot of ranked, because it's going to keep you around other people of your level, and it's going to challenge you without both giving you a bunch of people to stomp, or otherwise giving you a bunch of people who will slap you around and make you hate the game. That is the argument that we're having here. Now, Kotaku has reached out to Activision Tim the Tapman to comment. We will try to see if we can get their responses. But the argument has admitted that there is irony to the complaint. If one player has hit prestige, frequently ending matches with some insane kill-death ratios, then they should obviously be placed with other equally dominating players. They shouldn't be given the opportunity to jump into non-skill-based lobbies to crush folks still learning the ropes. Now, I've looked around online through Reddit pages and Twitter, and I've done some stuff, so I'm not going to show you all that I've had. But I think the problem that is happening is that these streamers are complaining that they can't get a bunch of low-ranked people to just dominate and entertain their streaming fans with. And that kind of sucks, because the game is saying, look, you're just going to play against people of your level, which is going to be professionals and other streamers, people who can afford to spend 3 to 5 hours a day minimum perfecting the game. But what you want is a ton of streamer highlights, and what you want is a ton of just, 20 insane kill runs, and you want to get the... I think this game still has the unlocks where you get prizes for every kill you get if you get them in a row. Kill streaks are a thing. But I'm pretty sure that Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 still has those. But some people are saying, look, Tapman just wants to be able to easily get an insane kill-death ratio without having to work for it. He just wants to make videos. He doesn't actually care about this, so it's actually just hurting him. I'm inclined to agree with Kotaku on this one, even though I don't always. I mean, this matchmaking system's been in a lot of games. Nobody in League of Legends complains about it. Nobody in other games complain about it. So I'm more inclined to believe that this is just a bunch of streamers who want to have easy money streams where, it's more entertaining for them and they have a lot more fun, and it's easier for them to keep high streaming audiences that are going to subscribe and donate to them if you're always dominating. But if you have to actually earn it, then the money's going to be a lot worse. And I feel for them, because that's their job and that's what they decide to do with their time. But just because it gets hard, there's no reason to say, you know what? I want everybody else to be miserable while I dominate them. And if they leave the game, they're just babies. Well, if you don't like it, you can leave the game and you can be a baby. That's just my opinion, though. In other news, which is slightly interesting, Japan says hell no to horror this Halloween, as the Calisto protocol has been cancelled in Japan over a ratings board dispute. This comes from IGN and is being reported by PC Gamer. Following a dispute between the developers Striking Distance Studios and the Japanese rating board, which is the computer entertainment rating organization Zero. Unfortunately, Zero and Striking Distance have been having conversations. The game comes out early December, and Striking Distance has said that the game has been canceled in Japan. Now, Callisto Protocol, if you don't know, is a particularly gory and violent horror game from Dead Space creator Glenn Schofield, and it looks amazing. I love Dead Space. I may or may not play this, but I'm definitely watching Scary Game Squad play it. I think this is going to be phenomenal, though. And definitely, if you love horror, survival, sci-fi stuff, this is going to be on your Christmas list. But the two sides are therefore at a standstill, as Zero won't give the game a rating before its content is changed, and Striking Distance won't change it. Neither company explained what about the game was deemed to be an issue. If you've seen any of the previews or the trailers for this game, you know what the issues are. So Japanese and other Southeastern Asian countries are usually a bit more sensitive about what you can and can't play, whereas here in America and Europe, we will rate the games very mature, but we will not cancel them for much reason. Australia also has been marking things as adult only recently in their area too. And I'm not going to say that's good or bad, that's just, it's their standards. So Zero in Japan has said you have to make these changes, and Striking Distance is saying we can't make those changes. It's a disturbing horror journey through a space prison. It's the way it is. The Callisto Protocol's Japanese version has been discontinued. At present, it cannot pass the Zero rating, Striking Distance has said, and that changing the Callisto Protocol will not provide the experience players expect. You're going to get a refund, and you're going to be able to import it, but hopefully, I don't know if they're still going to have Japanese text and language on the imported versions or not. because I think that I don't think they're releasing like a worldwide edition. I think they're just releasing it in every region. So it's going to be coming out December 2nd. And Schofield, the article also brings out that earlier, Schofield tweeted earlier this year that he was proud of his team for working up to 6 to 7 days a week, but he did quickly apologize about the crunch. Remember, we hate crunch, and we should call people out on it. I'm thinking that that's less taking a shot at the developer and more that IGN just wants me to click on this link and read more stories so that they get more clicks and views. So I'm not going to hate him for it. But yeah, basically, Japan said this game's too scary, too bloody, too disturbing. You have to make changes. And Striking Distance like, no. 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 We will not. You have no game now. I don't think either of them is wrong. I think Striking Distance made a really good horror game in the vein of Dead Space. And Sura's like, look, that's cool, but we have our standards and you can't release that here without changing them. As well as the game comes out in only a little more than a month, and possibly IGN may be smarter than I thought about the crunch tweets. Schofield and the rest of them like, dude, we finished this game. We are not bringing these guys back in here to work 10 hours a day to make a Japanese-only version. You guys are just going to have to deal. So that is unfortunate for the Japanese fans. I hope that they are able to import and at least have Japanese text and subtitles, even if they don't get the voice acting. But we will have to see if that is something that can happen. Guys, that is your opinion for today. Thank you so much, as always, for watching. Why don't you comment on what stories you liked and what stories you think I need to cover? Or you could also subscribe or visit us on Twitter, as we have a link there. Let me know anything and everything you're thinking. Play more games, because games are awesome and you deserve the awesome. I'll see you soon.